Alright guys, so the differential we messed up on, got a whole bunch of comments on it, so we're going to respond to some of those comments, and we're also going to get a little deeper into what happened and some of the details, so let's get into it. Okay, so we've got the differential open. We're going to go over what failed. I don't have it completely apart yet, but we're going to go over what failed. I'm going to show you, and then we're going to pull it back, pull it the rest of the way apart, and we're all going to see exactly what happened. But first I want to read you some of the comments. I mean, a lot of these, they're just, wanting to know, just some generic information. So, but we're going to save the best one for last. The one that made us do this video, we're going to save him for last. So, so this one just says, I don't believe raw differential fluid would cause damage in such a short time. What did the tech put in there? Acid? Didn't put acid in it. What happened to the differential? What was the failure? What do the damaged parts look like? We're going to go over that. And what's involved R&R the diff? Well, we showed that kind of in the other video. You didn't show us anything we can learn from, just blah, 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 and a nice plug for Valvoline products. Definitely not a plug for Valvoline products, and we're going to show you why. So I don't understand that one, but that's okay. Hard to believe that it killed the diff in a week. Not even a week. I think it was a day. More than likely the tech did the drain and forgot to fill. So we're going to show that also. So this is another one. This is interesting. After one day, customer hears noise and then metal shavings are found upon inspection. I don't see how that would correlate to incorrect fluid. Because even if the specification is wrong, I'm sure the fluid used was high quality and somewhat close. Incorrect fluid usually causes long-term damage and not immediate from my understanding. I suspect the differential was low on fluid and that's what caused the internal grinding. Is there a special procedure for the front differential service? Looked it up in all data and couldn't find anything. I'm truly interested. And we appreciate comments like that. That's fantastic. That's what we're here to do is give you guys some more information. I'm curious what failed in the differential in a few days of new gear oil. That was the wrong fluid being used. That seems possible but unlikely. Was it a completely different type of fluid that was installed, or did the differential have a pre-existing condition? And then if the mechanic is working flat rate, he's not going to want to spend a bunch of time double checking to see if the service writer got it right. All right, and then we're going to say the best one for last. So let's go over a few of those. Let's take that last one. So all of our technicians get paid in a, we're not going to get into what people get paid and everything on the internet, but all of our technicians get paid in some type of a combination pay system where they get paid an hourly rate and they also get paid for what they do. You can call that a flat rate or whatever you want to call it. They get paid for the work that they turn out. So some places pay commission plus hourly. Some places just do pure flat rate. We don't do pure flat rate. But let me address this real quick. Just from an ethical standpoint, if you're a mechanic and you work at a shop that is flat rate, you go to a shop and you apply and they say, listen, we want to hire you, here's how we pay, and we pay flat rate, okay? And you accept those terms and you say, well, I'm willing to come here and work for flat rate. Let's just say it's pure flat rate, which I'm not saying I don't agree with pure flat rate. Everybody can do their own thing and believes their own thing, but if you agree to it, and then part of the deal is, hey, we want to look up this thing and make sure it's right. At the end of the day, if you put the wrong fluid in it, it's really on you. You're the professional technician and should have had the right fluid, right? So I don't agree with the fact that if you're a flat rate tech, you're not going to want to do that. If you signed up as a flat rate tech, you kind of got to take the good with the bad. You can turn a whole bunch of hours, hopefully, and make some good money. But at the same time, you got to do some stuff to make sure it's right. That's my spiel on that. Take it for what it's worth. I know I'm going to get some hate on that. I'm sure I'll get some comments on this one. So as far as it lasting for a day, right? Somebody said, what do you put in there? Acid, right? Somebody else said, what do they put in there? Air. I mean, there's lots of people that put different comments on this thing. This is the fluid that was put in it. This is the fluid that was drained out of it, right? That we put in it the first time. This thing holds 600 milliliters. Now, unfortunately, this jug, only goes to 500. But we see that's pretty much 600 milliliters. We've got a little tiny bit left in here. This is what it was drained in. And if we look in here, we can see the metal shavings. So there's no question. Let me flip it around. Maybe you'll see it when they drain. There's definitely metal in here. and there's some pretty, what I would call sizable metal. I mean, it's no, you know, chunks, but there's some good sized flakes. There's one right there. I think that's a metal flake. Yeah, 100%, right there. So there's metal in this thing, right? And it was full. It was full. There is a special procedure to put this in. You don't just fill it to the you know, a lot of times you think you fill it up to the fill hole. That's not the case on this one. The tech used a syringe. He pulled out the correct amount of fluid out, fresh fluid, and he injected it into the right amount. So, and clearly he was right, because there's what came out of it. You guys can all see that is not new fluid, right? That's been in there for just a little bit. There's metal in that. So, and this was in there. Listen, guys, I don't know what to tell you as far as, you know, do I agree the fact that, man, that was awful fast? Yeah, that was way fast. It was literally one day. But here's the deal. The car came in here, and, you know, we recommend the differential service. We're not going to go down that path. If you don't recommend fluid services, we had some people say that too. That's good. I'm fine with that. You do you. If you think you're doing your client a service, you do that, right? We believe in fluid services, using the correct fluid, and here's a perfect example of using the correct fluid. So it lasted a day. I don't know what else to tell you. We're not making this up. There's no reason for us to make it up. It lasted a day. What?
Read the other last comment.
So here's the last comment. All right. So this guy says, I think this video is fake. Made for views. Let's go at this logically. What kind of fluid did the tech put in it? All right, we're going to show you that. Unless the tech let the old gear oil out and never refilled it, or put gasoline or diesel fuel instead of gear oil or water, that diff is so strong that any gear oil will work in it. You can use 75-140. He's put 75W140 in place of 75W90. You can even use it instead of 75W85. So which is it? Would you care to share with us which fluid the tech put in versus what BMW calls for? Did the technician mess up and put, this is the one, and put air in the diff? Technically it's a fluid. Or is this entire video fake in an attempt to get more views, likes, clicks, and community engagement? I'm inclined to think it's fake. Okay. Well, you can be inclined to think whatever you want. That's fine. It's not fake. There's no reason for us to make it fake. Here's the diff out of the vehicle. I spent the money to put the other diff in. I don't even know why you would think it's fake, right?
21.
We're sitting here trying to explain to you guys, trying to make a video that, yeah, will engage the community. Yeah, that will get, you know, some people to watch it. Of course, that's what every video we put out, we hope that people will watch it. And at the same time, we hope that every video we put out gives you guys some information that you can use to make sure that you don't make the same mistakes that we make. This is why we don't edit out the mistakes that we make, so that you guys can learn from it. Listen, it's painful to make mistakes. This is really painful. So why would I make up a fake video? So, okay, here you go. Here's the fluid that was put in it. And here's the brand that was put in it. For those that said it was a big shout out to Valvoline, that's what we put in it, right? That's the fluid that was put in by the tech. That's this fluid right here, right? All right, here's what goes in the vehicle and got put in it the second time. As we can see, this says 7590, this says 7585. Okay, it's clearly, I believe there's something else other than the weight that's different here. There's got to be some kind of additives in here. There's got to be something different. Clearly, there's something different between these two fluids. So for those that say, hey, it's a big shout out, all it was blah, 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 big shout out to Valvoline, well, there you go. I'm not saying anything bad about Valvoline. This fluid is not for this vehicle. It's just that simple. And we installed it. No hate on Valvoline. This is on us, not on Valvoline at all. And this is what belongs in it. Let's go over here and let's take a look at the diff. All right. So I'm going to turn this. I'm just kind of holding it. So here's the, you know, the ring gear. We don't see anything really wrong with it. You can get in there and you guys take a look, zoom in. I mean, do whatever you want to do. We don't see a whole lot going on there, right? But what we do see and what we do hear, and I'm going to lean down so you guys can hear this. So hopefully you guys get a good, you know, could hear that really good. The problem is in here. And when I turn this, so I'm going to, so as you can see, I can turn it, but when I try to turn it just easy, so I'm just putting a little bit of pressure on it. It's like click, 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 click. So there's something in there binding, right? So we're going to pull this apart. Now, unfortunately, this takes a really thin wall socket to get this. I don't have the socket for this. If we were going to rebuild this, I would 100% obviously have to get the socket for it. I'm going to see if I can't pop this off an old school way. So we got this thing apart. We didn't show that. We don't have, we had to use an air hammer to get the nut off of here. We're not reusing anything with this. This thing's going in the scrap bin. If we were going to rebuild this, which would have been totally doable, but what am I ever going to do with it? Just more money than I'm going to spend that I'm never going to get back. We could have definitely fixed this one. The problem, so again, we remember that the problem was in the pinion. This was the front pinion bearing, goes here. This is the rear pinion. So there's nothing really wrong with this one. Again, the side bearings on this thing are these ball bearings. So this bearing though is a taper bearing, and this is the problem. You can actually see that it's scored. I don't know if you can see that on the video, but it is 100% scored. So this is the problem right here. This bearing sits right there. So the only thing I can think is that, this had a lot of load on it. This is the one that probably carries the most load for the pinion. And, it's just the wrong fluid just damaged it. And it damages it that quick. So for those of you that are, saying it can't happen that quick, here's all I can tell you, okay? All I can tell you is this thing was fine. It came in here. There was nothing wrong with it. It's a 21 with, I think,
35,000.
not many, 38,000 miles on it, something like that. And there was nothing wrong with it. We created a problem. And it went one day. I don't know what to tell you for those that say it can't happen in a day, other than it happened in a day. And it happened with this fluid, which is 7590. And this is the fluid that goes in it, from BMW. Again, I don't believe it was the weight at all. I would agree that 7590 and 7585 are really, really close. But we're dealing with modern vehicles today. And, it's just like we could say that, 5W20 and 5W30 are real close. But, we can still see problems with it. So 020 and 016, real close. Real close is probably not good enough anymore, guys. We got to get exact. And, this one is just one of those deals where, yeah, it went really, really fast. And, the thing is that my really biggest concern with a lot of these comments, this thing wasn't making noise. It came in here, we did service on it. It left here. It lasted a day and it came back making noise. So many of the comments were, there's no way, there's no way, there's no way, there's no way it went a day. Here's my concern. If that client walked into the door of one of those shops that did that service, and they're gonna face that person and say, there's no way that happened, right? And that's exactly what we don't need in this business. Own up to it. There was nothing wrong with it when it came in, and there's something wrong with it now, and clearly it's something that we did. We can prove that we did something wrong. We put the wrong fluid in it. Doesn't meet the specs. Own it, right? If our first response when somebody walks in the door is, oh, wasn't anything we did, right? That's not good, right? That's a good way to have to eat crow a lot. So, because when you find out that it is something you did, what do you do? Just say, hey, let's take a look at it. Let's see if it's something that we did, or however you want to word it. I don't care, but definitely don't say it's something that we did. It would have definitely lasted longer than a day. It wouldn't have lasted longer than a day. This one lasted a day. So that's all I can tell you, and that was my biggest concern when I saw the comments is, please guys, be the shop that says, hey, let's take a look at it, right? Let's see if it's something that we did, because if it is, we 100% want to take care of it. Don't be the shop that says nothing we did. It couldn't have been that, right? So I was just looking over, and the light caught all the metal in the oil there. So anyway, guys, that's pretty much our follow-up to that. I hope it was worth something, and I hope I get 1 million clicks and 1 million likes and 1 million comments, and man, because we only do this stuff for that. So just give us that thumbs up then, and give us that subscribe, and give us that comment down below, so we get a ton of them. So Yep. So that way we don't have to make fake ones. So, I'm just messing with y'all. Love y'all. Appreciate you. Appreciate you watching. See you in the next one.